Maybe your lack of progress isn't about motivation, but decision fatigue. Or maybe discipline isn't failing you, you're just asking it to work alone. If you wake up already overwhelmed, it's not because you're lazy, it's because your environment is silently draining your energy with invisible micro decisions, every single day. Most people keep pushing harder, hoping willpower will finally do the trick. But effort without structure only leads to burnout on repeat. I'm Marcus Voss, a strategist for focus and mental clarity. I help ambitious minds escape the cycle of mental clutter by building systems that do the heavy lifting, so you don't have to. Because real change doesn't come from trying harder, it comes from becoming predictable, on purpose. Let's break the myth of discipline and build a smarter system together. What if your focus problem isn't a focus problem at all? It's a system failure, not a personal flaw. Your brain isn't broken. It's just been flooded with fragmented routines, hidden micro-decisions, and constant mental noise. And all that invisible friction, it slowly erodes your clarity, motivation, and momentum. That's why you start strong and stop halfway. Why you plan to focus, but end up exhausted. It's not about laziness. It's about architecture. Now picture this. You're trying to walk across a shaky bridge in the middle of a storm. Even with perfect balance and strong legs, the instability underneath will throw you off. That's your mind, every day, trying to function without anchors, rituals, or automated triggers. No stability, no mental scaffolding, no consistent rhythm. And then you blame yourself for not having enough discipline. But it's not discipline that fails. It's predictability that's missing. Because when everything requires effort, even simple actions become battles. Too many open loops, too many decisions, too little structure. Here's the truth. As long as your environment keeps demanding conscious effort for every task, you keep burning out, wondering why you can't just focus. But this isn't a time to try harder. This is your chance to reset, to build a system so predictable, your brain finally breathes. Let's start there. You keep telling yourself, this week I'll be different. This time I'll stick to the plan. But somehow you end up right back where you started. Tired, scattered, frustrated, wondering why you can't seem to stay consistent. Again, let's be honest. It's not because you're unmotivated. It's because you're trying to operate in survival mode, inside a system that's quietly working against you. Think about it. You wake up and immediately grab your phone. In seconds, your mind is hijacked by alerts, inboxes, and other people's priorities. Your focus is gone before you even brush your teeth. You wrote down your goals, you had a plan, but your day got flooded with urgent demands and open loops you didn't create. You sat down to work, but the desk was cluttered, your tabs were a mess, your body was restless. And the one thing that truly mattered, it stayed untouched. Again. By the end of the day, you're not drained from effort. You're drained from mental switching, decision fatigue, and the constant pressure to restart. Worse, this chaos becomes normal. You start to internalize the failure. You tell yourself, maybe I'm just not the type who gets things done. But that's a lie built by broken systems. You're not the problem. The real problem is the structure or lack of it that surrounds you. A structure with no rhythm, no rituals, no sensory boundaries, no clear signals for when to start, stop, or switch modes. Your brain is stuck in fight or flight, reactive, fragmented, overstimulated. This isn't a grit problem. It's an architecture problem. You don't need more willpower. You need a container, a predictable framework that simplifies your mental world. One that removes friction, reduces decisions, and turns clarity into your default mode. Because once the system supports you, you stop fighting yourself. Your brain isn't broken. It's brilliantly designed to do exactly what it's doing. You are wired to conserve energy. That's not a flaw, it's evolutionary design. The human brain didn't evolve to thrive in complexity. It evolved to survive by making the fastest, easiest decision possible in uncertain environments. At the center of this mechanism is your limbic system, the emotional engine of the brain. It constantly scans for short-term rewards and tries to avoid discomfort. So when you reach for your phone instead of your goals, that's not a willpower failure. That's your biology doing its job, redirecting you toward immediate relief. But here's the twist. Every time you repeat that loop, distraction, procrastination, avoidance, you reinforce that behavior. The brain learns through repetition, building neural shortcuts that become your default. Now picture this. Your mind is like a river. It flows toward the path of least resistance. If your environment is noisy, unpredictable, or cluttered, your brain will always default to the easy tracks. Checking emails, scrolling aimlessly, overthinking and freezing, delaying what matters. Now imagine that focus is like a muscle. You don't grow it by reading about workouts. You grow it by showing up consistently. Small reps, repeated triggers, predictable rhythms, that's how you train the mind. Not with force, but with structure. And here's the most empowering part. Your brain is neuroplastic. It adapts to what you feed it. Every habit, every tool, every space you create is either reinforcing your chaos or rewiring your clarity. You're not stuck because you're undisciplined. You're stuck because your current system makes distraction the default. But that can change, starting now. Not by working harder, by designing a system that works with your brain, not against it. So now that you understand the invisible logic behind your distractions, let me show you a practical tool, something you can implement today to reset your mental flow from the outside in. I call this technique the square of clarity. It's not just a space, it's a shift. And it begins with 1 square meter. Here's your 24-hour challenge. Find a small area in your environment, a corner of your desk, the top of your nightstand, even a spot on the floor. Now, clear exactly 1 square meter. No phone, no notebooks, no mug, no visual clutter. Just a blank, calm surface, free of noise, full of intention. Then, choose one task, the one you've been avoiding, overthinking, or postponing. Sit down in that space. Do only that task, start to finish. No multitasking, no switching tabs, no productivity hacks. Just one task, one space, one win. Why does this work? Because your brain speaks the language of cues. It encodes spaces with meaning. A cluttered area signals chaos, but an intentional space tells your nervous system, this is where focus begins. Every time you return to that square, your mind remembers, this is where I show up. This is where I finish. This is where I move forward. It's not just a surface, it's a ritual, a physical boundary that protects your mental clarity. And the more you repeat this, the more your brain rewires itself to enter focus faster, to feel safer in structure, to anchor itself in predictability, not pressure. You don't need a new tool. You don't need to change your whole life. You need a place where your system learns a new story. I'm in control now. So when this video ends, pick your space, clear it, sit with it, begin, and let your body register what your mind has needed all along. Today, something changed. Today, you realize something powerful. Focus isn't about trying harder. It's about building mental architecture that makes clarity automatic. You now understand that your brain always chooses the path of least resistance. And with the right structure, you can design that path to lead straight to focus. With simple cues, repeated actions, and intentional space, focus becomes a habit, not a heroic effort. And here's what matters most. You didn't just consume another tip today. You made a decision to take ownership of how you show up. That's strength, that's momentum, that's transformation in motion. And this isn't the end. This is your reset point. If you are ready to go deeper, To align your environment, habits, and identity around real clarity and self-leadership? Then listen closely to what comes next. If today you realize your focus isn't broken, it's just trapped in the wrong system, then your transformation starts right now. The course Change My Mind isn't about productivity hacks or morning routines. It's about reclaiming your mental sovereignty by learning how your brain actually works and shifting from survival mode to intentional clarity. If your days feel chaotic, if pressure makes your focus vanish, if you keep repeating cycles of procrastination, distraction, and guilt, this is the method that helps you finally break the loop. By rewiring not just your habits, but your internal architecture. Access is exclusive via the link in the description. Click now. Take the next step in your reset. Your mind can become your greatest ally when you learn how to lead it. If this episode resonated, leave a like, share it with someone trapped in the cycle of distraction, and drop a comment. What's the one habit that steals your focus every day? In the next episode, we will go deep into the invisible blocks that make self-discipline feel like a constant struggle, and how to dismantle them from the inside out. I'm Marcus Voss, your guide to focus, clarity, and inner mastery. And your next level, it starts right here.